It's gonna really change not only the industry, it's gonna change the human being life. AI gonna take your job and then the label will flip to the next level. This is mind blowing, and where this is going is really beyond imagination. And I think business cases start coming to our industries and to the corporate life. Some corporate or some companies have done successful initiatives on using these technologies.
Hello and welcome to CIO News. I am Simran Shiwalkar, a journalist at CIO News and your host for today. This session is being recorded and it will be available on our website cionews.co.in, on our YouTube channel and our LinkedIn handle as well. Today we are back with yet another episode from our exclusive series Voice of CIO, and we have with us Mr. Ali Katkhada. He's the Group Chief Information Officer at Depa Group and a visionary executive renowned for his global success in driving business transformation through technology and innovation. As a top CIO award winner and trusted advisor to corporates and startups alike, Ali is passionate about leveraging the fourth industrial revolution to enhance business sustainability in a tokenized economy. Ali, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you. Same likewise.
All right. With a remarkable experience in this domain for about more than 18 years, I would like to understand a bit about your journey. If you could help us, walk through your journey and your role as a CIO.
Right. So background. So I'm a computer engineer. I have also a graduate diploma in telecommunication. I have done a master's degree and I'm doing now my doctorate in AI. I have joined Depa Group in 2007. And since then, we started a very, very long journey, keeping in mind that Depa Group is scattered into 27 different countries with different jurisdiction. We started as a public listed company in London Stock Exchange. Then we have done some acquisitions. So we have also group listed in Singapore Stock Exchange, and we are listed in Nasdaq Dubai. So all these stock exchanges comes with regulation and compliance for IT. We have to be careful and comply with all these jurisdictions. So I have established the IT department across all countries, across the cultures. We, as Depa, we do an interior contracting. So we consist of 4 different groups. Mainly we do the interior contracting for 5-star hotels all over the world, like Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab, Dochi, the Grand Hyatt, Four Seasons, theme parks, most of the theme parks, the famous one. Also, we have a group which do a retail interior, like Dolce Gabbana, like Chanel, Apple Store, etc. Also, we have a group in Germany which they do the interior of super yacht and private jets. So that's the niche that we are in. We don't do residential. We do only high-end 5-star hotels and iconic projects, infrastructures around the world. IT is centralized, so we are doing or responsible for the whole IT functions all over the world. Now, for example, we have a lot of projects and hotels going on in Saudi, in the Kingdom, in the Red Sea, as well as in the GCC and in the Europe. So all these challenges are one of the responsibilities of us, including the entire different type of IT functions, from application to infrastructure to cybersecurity and innovation. So in a nutshell, that's more or less about us.
Great, and seems like a huge milestone for me, because 18 years in this space, and again transforming from one role to another. Now as a group CIO, of course. Thank you once again for walking us through your journey. And along the same lines, I would like to hear it from you. How do you think the role of CIO has, evolved over the years now that we are already living in a much digitalized world?
This is an interesting topic because I have seen this and I live it. The CIO role used to be mainly based on the industry. So there are some industries where the IT and the CIO role is very important. He's reporting to the board or to the CEO. He play a very strategic role in the organization. But in the majority of the industries, especially when IT is a support function, it's not an IT role. CIO used to play a marginal role as a cost center. Is like they call it an unavoidable evil because it's the biggest cost center in any organization, and people don't really understand what is the role of CIO, what this guy is doing. However, maybe last 7-8 years, the role of CIO changed dramatically, regardless the industry, whether the industry is a mature industry or it's a very old-fashioned industry. The CIO now is playing, regardless the industry, regardless the culture and the maturity of the organization, the CIO now is playing a very vital role, strategic role in all the corporates. He's the custodian of the risk. So the enterprise risk management is under the CIO. He is the one who's participating in setting up the overall strategies of the group. Usually nowadays, you rarely find a CIO not reporting to the board or to the CEO. So it's a huge changes, and I think it's the whole mankind have this impact, regardless the country, regardless the industry, and regardless the company. Yeah.
Fantastic. And thank you so much for sharing your wonderful insights on that. On the same note, Ali, I would like to hear it from you. Are there any essential skills that you consider, especially for someone at a leadership position, something like CIO? How has this role shaped your perspective when it comes to driving innovation and collaboration?
I think there is a very important thing I believe in, that because the technology now is a revolution, it's not anymore gradual growth, similar to other industry or similar to other function like medicine, for example, or education. So the right skill any CIO need to have is a mindset of a fresh graduate. I think we should not say, oh, you know what, I have a 20 years of experience, or I am a CIO since 25 years, or I have a 10 years of... The technology is new. And these technology now that we are having nowadays, like blockchain, for example, now like non-relational database. So everything we studied in our bachelor or our IT degrees is irrelevant now. It's obsolete. And what I mean by that, now there is non-relational database, for example. So if you studied relational database, it's not going to help you. If you studied object-oriented programming, like C++ and all these families of programming language, it's obsolete. Nobody's using it anymore. Now it's microprocesses. So nobody's using object-oriented programming. For example, in AutoCAD or in CAD technology, if you use Revit or AutoCAD, traditional AutoCAD, now you need to use BIM. And actually, they said if you don't have a back legacy knowledge, it's better and easier to learn the new technology rather than somebody who has anchored with the old traditional technology. So the CIOs and all the senior IT people should approach the technology in a mindset of a fresh graduate, that we are all fresh graduate, like me, similar to anybody who just graduated from the university. With this mindset, I can always be open-minded to learn and investigate and make trial and error and build my new knowledge every day.
Rightly said so. And I think this could be applied across all the domains, not just CIOs, but a lot of us can apply this in our day-to-day lives. You need to have that mindset where you are always up for new, for upskilling yourself. And I think that's the only way forward. So coming back, with your leadership styles, and you emphasize a lot on corporate innovation strategy and digital vision. How do you ensure that these initiatives align with broader business goals? Any metrics do you apply while measuring their success?
I think this is the core role of CIO. I mean, CIO is here to make an enterprise architecture, to align the business, the vision, the mission of the company, along with the technology and with the IT role. And that's the art. There is no right and wrong. However, I have a few points to like I built over the years, and I learned from my mistakes and from the senior CIOs before me. We have to understand clearly that, especially when we are in non-IT function. Like, for example, I'm in a construction industry, somebody in oil and gas, in food and beverage, in healthcare, that IT is not an objective by itself. Technology is a mean, it's a vehicle to serve the business. That should be very, very clear. I'm not a revenue generating. I'm a department that's a cost center, they call us. And we are here, the businesses are here to make money, to generate a revenue, and to make a really successful businesses. And that's why we have to focus on the business objectives. We have to focus on what really the business is trying to do. And we have to bridge that with what is in there in terms of tools, startup technologies to really fulfill that vision. So the technology by itself is not our objective. Now there is a buzz or a hype about AI, about blockchain. But if these technologies not really adding value to my bottom line, I should not really run for it just for the sake of having the technology. Yeah. So I have to keep my focus always on my business objectives. And I have to develop also a skill as a CIO to simplify the technology, to explain, for example, if we talk about cybersecurity, it's one of the very hot topics, and it's not only a responsibility of the IT. It's the entire organization responsibility. We're going to talk about it maybe in a while, but what I'm saying is the role of CIO is to simplify these metrics and these KPIs to non-IT or non-technical leaders in the board and in the C-suites, to eliminate all the jargon of the technical terminology and explain to them why we are going in this direction, why we're going to adopt this culture or this technology or this policy, what is the objective of this data protection, what is the objective of this cybersecurity policy, why we are going to do this, not that, in a very business language, simple terms that everybody can understand.
Fantastic. Thank you once again for answering that, Ali. Given your experience, diverse experience with technologies like AI and blockchain, how do you think these innovations, would reshape the industry in the next coming years? What's your take on that?
I think it's gonna really change not only the industry; it's gonna change the human being life. I think, and it's not in the coming 5 years, maybe in the coming 2 years. Maybe it's happening right now. I mean, I believe, as written in Manhattan subway, AI gonna take your job, and then the label will flip to the next level. So it's written, AI gonna take your job, and then it's flip to the next level. We have to embrace these technologies, whether it's AI or blockchain. I mean, those two are the most really big things happening to the mankind. And some of the scholars are writing, maybe AI is as big as the invention of electricity or the wheel invention. It's that's big. And I believe we are now in an era that we have a big invention, but we don't know what we're going to do with it. It's like the early 90s. I think you are young, you've never been in that time, but in early 90s when like internet is there, but we don't know what we're going to use the internet for. And later on, until maybe 10 years ago, Amazon became the big giant for e-commerce, right? But at the beginning, we was not really aware what is the utilization of this big technology called internet. And I think we are in the same era right now when in terms of blockchain. Unfortunately, blockchain has now a bad reputation because of cryptocurrency and all these frauds happening and all this association with money laundering and all of. But as a technology, it's something really, really big, and really it's beyond imagination what blockchain technology can do. And we are talking about even the Web3, not only the blockchain, whether the metaverse, for example, the business cases for metaverse or NFT or blockchain or this fintech things is really beyond imagination. And if you add to that also this Gen I, like I think nowadays people slowly stop using the search engine. And I really like the metaphor that we are moving now from the search engine to the Gen AI because the librarian have read all the books. So it's not just I'm going to the library and I'm asking the librarian, please give me a book about this topic. No, the librarian now can answer me and can give me the information that I'm looking for. I don't need really to go to visit websites or go to Google and ask for a topic, and Google as a search engine gonna give me a list of all the links where it might have the information I'm looking for. I can go to Gemini or ChatGPT or Copilot as an AI, Gen AI, and I can talk to them even by my voice and ask them for the information, not the link, not the website, not the book, but the piece of information that I want, because the librarian have read the books and he can answer me. I don't need the book anymore. And this is, it's not just a buzz or a hype. It's really a real business cases. Every day you are reading about some corporate or some companies have done successful initiatives on using these technologies and really utilizing this, which add value to the bottom line. Again, back to my previous question, what's mattered to us as a corporate, what matters to us as a businesses, not the technology by itself, but what value this technology can add to my bottom line, to my business, what's really quality of life it can add to my client, it can add to my customers. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I can certainly agree on so many levels. The parallels that you just drew, nobody is now going to Google or Bing for that matter. People are just using ChatGPT because it's so convenient and so personalized. You have the exact information you're looking for in most cases. So I think it's totally mind blowing and game changing, like you said. So we can certainly expect more. Would it be safer to say that embracing these technologies is the only way ahead to stay up in the game rather than, just moving away from it?
So look, I can share with you few business cases that I have been engaged with, real business cases, as I said. Like, now organizations are having something called lab. So in order for the organization or corporate to think as entrepreneur, not to lose the innovative and trial and error culture, and not to be stuck with a very traditional IT, traditional technology, because we still need this traditional technology. We still need to keep the lights on. We still need to pay payroll, pay salaries, run the payroll, have the employee and the HR system, have the inventory system, has the manufacturing system, have the finance, general ledger. Those traditional IT need to be there. However, organizations are creating something like, for example, we recently created something called Depa Lab. It's a incubator which has all our initiatives that we have done, and all these initiatives have pages in there. We explain who was the owner, what was the objective of this initiatives, what is the lesson learned, what works, what doesn't work, what was the lesson learned out of this initiatives. For example, we have done IoT for labor performance. We put a GPON device in the helmet to measure whether these laborers are really performing or they are just sleeping under the stairs. We have done some metaverse to replace a construction mock-up. Instead of really building a physical mock-up, which is a room for the client to come and see, and whether he will like the color, he will like the designs or not, and then he will approve or he will ask for changes. We used to build this physically, and it's from sustainability perspective and from time and from money perspective is not really an efficient thing. But metaverse is a technology which before used to call VR, virtual reality, having a huge potential to save time, to save money, and for saving the environment. Another thing is NFT. All of us have this ID cards. All of our organization have a physical cars that have some utilities, can open the door, so it's access control, can identify who we are, can give us some discounts and some utilities based on each organization. So we have done an initiatives to create an NFT out of this. People will hold it on their mobile, instead of really having a card. And again, it's have all the utilities and with much more things, because now I really get rid of the physical cards. I can activate, deactivate, I can enable extra utilities and extra discounts to certain level of employees. And I, can always control who has what. All of that in a NFT. And then you have to keep in mind also, when you are operating under a particular jurisdiction, you have to keep in mind the compliance, the data protection laws. Now in Europe, just a couple of days or maybe a week ago, they have approved the EU AI Acts, and it's really well-written documents which explain the rights, what is the acceptable action, what is the non-acceptable action, what is the rights of the people in terms of AI. All these things should be considered whenever we are designing any solution for a corporate.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for giving a very comprehensive view on this. And because, you've shared a lot of things and in a very insightful manner. Technology, as we all know, is always evolving. So are threats, cyber risks. So, what is your take when it comes to, cybersecurity, especially, on integrating robust cybersecurity measures, especially when we talk about digital transformation?
Right. I look at cybersecurity as a full strategy. It's not just the measures. The measures, I think everybody have the top-notch measures, especially when we're talking about a big corporate, public listed corporate. You're going to have the all secure, you're going to tick all the boxes with the top measures. You're going to have the best endpoint security and antivirus. You're going to have the top notch firewalls. You're going to encrypt your data. You're going to have different VLAN and separate networks. You're going to have the guest network. Those all are done. Everybody's having them. But what's really matter is to have the right culture, the right mindset. We talk about the role of CIO, and what this is one of the very important things that CIO have to cascade in the organization. That the cybersecurity is one of the top important priority for everybody, from the board member, the shareholders, to the C-suite, to all the way till the most fresh graduate in any organization. The cybersecurity is not a responsibility of IT only. IT have to put the measures in place, have to put the technology in place, but there should be a strategy. This strategy should have the security measures, should have an awareness program where there should be a continuous training in person. There should be a penetration test and assessment and evaluation. There should be a simulation, of a spam, and let's see and let's measure our training. Is our maturity level of our users, are they really feeling victims for this simulation or for this pseudo spam? And for those who really feel victim, we have to train them again and again, and should be part of the KPIs of any performance appraisal across all organizations. It's not a joke at all. We have seen a couple of days ago with a small glitch between two organizations, it caused the 1/3 of the universe to be put on hold. Organizations have lost millions of dollars because of cybersecurity, or because of their systems is not working. So nowadays IT is not really a luxurious thing, or people can really live without their computer, or without having access to the internet, or without having their Windows running. So that's why there should be a comprehensive strategy, and this strategy should have a KPIs. It should have a really assessment, and always we should make sure that we are going in the right direction. It's not just I buy an antivirus or a endpoint security and I'm fine. It's always, and the more we are going forward, the more we are embracing technology, and we are using more into these innovations like AI and blockchain, the more cybersecurity will be an important topic. Our money will be all in our mobiles, our payment system all will be online, our inventory will be online, our salaries, everything is going to be in distributed kind of ledger. So having a clean and secure connection will be more and more very important, I believe.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you once again for giving a very comprehensive view on your, maintaining a solid cyber posture, especially when you talk about individual level as well as enterprise level. Lastly, I would like to understand from you any last word of advice or key practices that you recommend for leaders in this space, or aspiring individuals looking to make their mark in this domain.
I think I always believe I'm very lucky to be in this domain, in this place, and at this time. Really, what's going on is something very much interesting, and we are living in a very excitement at this particular time. What's going on? If you read about the new inventions happening, all these new algorithms and new white papers that get published every day, and all those entrepreneurs over there, and what they are trying to do, and what challenges that they have taken and try to solve these problems. It's really really interesting. However, it's make our job more difficult, because you have to keep learning. It's non-stop process. You will never ever have a rest, or said, I'm fine with my degrees today, I have to stop really studying, because very soon you will be out of the game, and you will be your knowledge will be obsolete. And as I said, it's good always to be connected with communities, and to do that with with a group of people, because when you listen to a real life stories, when I, for example, listen to my peers, to other CIOs, what they have done, what works with them, what really difficulties they have done. So I learn from their mistake, instead of myself, trying this by myself, which would cost me a lot of time and efforts and money. So attending conferences is very, very important, especially the one that has a real people, not just sales, a real CIOs who's talking about their own experience. This is really tremendous. And we are so lucky in Dubai. There are almost every week there is something. It's like you cannot really attend all this, because you have to run the show as well. But at the end of the day, you have to select few communities to join and few conferences to attend. And in addition to the social media, following the right YouTuber and X, there are a lot of decent accounts that really have a very, very decent content. And maybe 10 years ago, that was really not possible. I remember we used to buy books from Amazon, and until the books comes in and we sit and we read these books to update our knowledge. I mean, this is all part of the history nowadays. But yeah, it's and I think on the coming, maybe in the coming 2 years, maybe 3 years, the life of human being will be heavily affected and changed in a positive way by the AI, by the blockchain, and the Web3 technology. And I think every day it's happening. While maybe we are not recognizing that, but maybe a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, nobody can imagine that ChatGPT will be that much important and essential for everybody function. And look what's happened now. And maybe in the coming couple months, another things will be essential and will be, became a very important in our human being daily operation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think we all can agree to that, saying, it's the ease of access and the convenience and the quickness of technology that has, led us to actually adopt to it. Uh, be it ChatGPT or Gen AI, I think we all have seen the transformation. Ali, thank you so much, because this conversation has been absolutely insightful and inspirational for me, and I'm sure our listeners and viewers have a lot to take away from this session. So, thank you once again for agreeing to do this with us.